Sweden's decision to deploy 8 Saab JAS 39 Gripen fighter jets to Poland, announced on March 6, 2025, and scheduled for May 1 to August 31, 2025, is a landmark development in the nation's military trajectory and its deepening role within NATO. This operation, marking Sweden's inaugural air defense mission abroad under NATO command, follows its entry into the alliance in March 2024 and builds on its recent deployment of the 71st Mechanized Infantry Battalion to Latvia, the largest Swedish military commitment outside its borders in modern times. Approved by the Swedish government and presented to the Riksdag, the mission will see approximately 110 ground crew members support the Gripens in 2 primary tasks: safeguarding NATO logistics corridors, vital for military and civilian aid to Ukraine, via the NATO Security Assistance and Training for Ukraine initiative, and conducting enhanced air policing over Poland from April to June 2025. Statements from Defense Minister Pål Jonson and Foreign Minister Maria Malmer Stenergaard frame this as a historic step, while Lieutenant Colonel Henrik Rosdahl, a commander of deployed forces, describes it as the new normal for Swedish defense, a shift from centuries of non-alignment to active participation in collective security. The real purpose of this deployment is layered, extending well beyond its stated objectives of logistics protection and airspace surveillance. Ostensibly, the Gripens will shield Poland's critical role as a logistical hub for Ukraine, where NATO coordinates arms shipments and humanitarian aid, a vulnerability Russia could exploit through aerial incursions, as Johnson has warned. Supported potentially by Saab 34 ASC-890 airborne early warning aircraft, the Swedish jets will bolster NATO's deterrence alongside Norway's 4 F-35A fighter bombers at Poznan-Krasny Air Base. Yet, beneath this operational rationale lies a broader strategic intent. Sweden is leveraging this mission to cement its standing as a dependable NATO ally, a necessity after decades of neutrality ended by Russia's 2022 invasion of Ukraine. By deploying its advanced Gripen aircraft, renowned for their agility, cost-effectiveness, and adaptability, Sweden showcases its technological prowess and military readiness, reinforcing its value to the alliance. This move also serves as a geopolitical signal to Moscow, positioning Sweden as a proactive defender of NATO's eastern flank and a counterbalance to Russian influence in the Baltic and Nordic regions, where tensions have simmered since the annexation of Crimea in 2014. For Sweden's defense strategy, the deployment heralds a profound evolution. Once focused narrowly on territorial defense, Sweden is now cultivating expeditionary capabilities, a transition accelerated by its NATO membership. The Latvia deployment tested ground forces. Now, the Poland mission challenges the Swedish Air Force's ability to operate abroad, honing logistics, command structures, and interoperability with allied air forces. Johnson's assertion that this will not weaken Sweden's domestic defenses reflects confidence in its military capacity, bolstered by a robust defense industry that produces the Gripen, a jet designed for flexibility in contested environments. This operation also aligns with Sweden's post-NATO strategic recalibration, contributing to collective defense while safeguarding its northern European interests. The Baltic Sea, a critical maritime and air corridor, is increasingly contested, and Sweden's proximity to Russia's Kaliningrad exclave and naval bases amplifies its stake in regional stability. By engaging in Poland, Sweden not only strengthens NATO's deterrence, but also positions itself as a linchpin in a Nordic-Baltic security network, alongside Finland, its fellow 2024 NATO entrant. The implications for NATO are substantial, enhancing the alliance's operational depth and cohesion. Poland, a frontline state bordering Ukraine and Belarus, relies on a patchwork air force, aging MiG-29s and Su-22s supplemented by F-16s while awaiting F-35s. Sweden's Gripens, paired with Norwegian F-35s, create a more formidable air shield, improving NATO's ability to monitor and respond to threats. This deployment complements NATO's broader air policing framework, which has intensified since Russia's aggression escalated, with Allied jets frequently scrambling to intercept Russian aircraft near Baltic and Polish airspace. The Swedish contribution also fosters interoperability, a cornerstone of NATO's effectiveness, as Gripen crews train alongside Polish and Norwegian forces, refining joint tactics and communication. For Poland, hosting Swedish jets reinforces NATO's commitment, a sentiment Polish Defense Minister Władysław Kosiniak-Kamysz has praised as a sign of solidarity amid growing regional pressures. Regionally, the deployment reshapes security dynamics in Eastern Europe and the Baltic Sea area. Sweden's active role strengthens a defensive arc stretching from Finland to Poland, integrating Nordic and Baltic states into a tighter security framework. This arc is vital as Russia maintains a significant military presence in Kaliningrad and conducts provocative flights near NATO borders. The Gripens' presence in Poland may deter such actions, though it risks heightening tensions. Russia could perceive this as an escalation, potentially increasing its own aerial or hybrid activities in response. Yet, this also underscores NATO's resolve, signaling to Moscow that any aggression will meet a unified, capable front. For Ukraine, the mission indirectly ensures the continuity of aid flows through Poland, a lifeline as it resists Russian advances, amplifying Sweden's impact beyond NATO's immediate borders. This deployment also carries domestic and economic dimensions for Sweden. Public support for NATO membership, which surged after Russia's invasion of Ukraine, is reinforced by visible contributions like this. Though it requires careful messaging to maintain consensus, Sweden's non-alignment legacy still resonates with some. Economically, showcasing the Gripen abroad bolsters Saab and Sweden's defense industry, potentially attracting export interest from NATO allies like Poland, which has considered modernizing its air fleet. The mission tests Sweden's ability to sustain overseas operations without straining resources, a balancing act as it increases defense spending, targeting 2% of GDP per NATO commitments amid global economic uncertainty. In the broader context, Sweden's Gripen deployment reflects a world where traditional neutrality yields to alliance-based security. It builds on Sweden's prior NATO cooperation, like reconnaissance in Libya in 2011, but as a full member, this mission carries greater weight. As of March 2025, it stands as a testament to Sweden's strategic awakening, driven by Russia's actions and enabled by NATO's framework. The deployment not only fortifies Poland and Ukraine's positions, but also redefines Sweden's military identity, embedding it firmly in the alliance's eastern defenses. Looking ahead, this could presage further Swedish contributions, perhaps more air missions or naval deployments in the Baltic, solidifying its role as a guardian of regional stability and a vital NATO partner in an increasingly volatile Europe.